Sudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sujami tapasaivedam grasami tapasa punah viparmi tapasa vishvam viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Hare Krishna, I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, the potency is penance only.
Brahmovacha Bhagavan sarvabhutanam adhyakshobhastito guham vedahya ruddhena pragnane chikarshitam.
Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence, without any hindrance whatsoever.
Tathapi nathamanasya nathanathaya nathitam paravare yatha rupe janiyam te tvarupinaha.
In spite of that, my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I'm here.
Saroj Mataji, I've got the English reciters, so thank you.
Okay.
Divya Mataji, please continue because I'm going to phone Lekha Mataji. She's not answering the phone, but I'm
Sure.
going to try it on the main line.
Sure, when she joins, you can stop.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I recite?
Oh, you are here. Okay, sorry,
Yes,
I can't see your name. Sorry. Hare Krishna. Okay, we've got both the reciters now. What text?
27?
27, yes, Mataji.
Okay, 1 second. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Yathatmaya Yogena Nana Shakti Upbrahmitam Vilumpan Visrijan Grihanan Vipradatmanam Atmana.
And please inform me how you by yourself manifest different energies for annihilation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation.
Text 28. Pidasya Mog Sankalpa Uranabhiryatvanute Tatha Tadvishyam Dehi Manishamai Madhava.
Translation. O Master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. You play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible.
Text 29. Bhagavat Chikshitamaham Karavaniha Tindritaha Nehamana Praja Sargam Bhadrayam Jadanugrahat.
Translation. Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter by the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to the living entities without being conditioned by such activities.
Text 30. Yavat Sakha Sakyuriveshate Kritaha Praja Visarge Vivajami Bhojanam Avikalvaste Parikarmani Sthito Mame Samunnat Madhojamaninaha.
Translation. O my Lord, the unborn, you have shaken hands with me, just as a friend does with a friend, as in if equal in position. I shall be engaged in the creation of different types of living entities, and I shall be occupied in your service. I shall have no perturbation, but I pray that all this may not give rise to pride, as if I were the supreme.
Text 31. श्रीभगवानुवाच ज्ञानं परमं गुह्यामि यद्विज्ञानसमन्वितं सरहस्यं तदङ्गं च गृहाणगदितं मया.
Translation. The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential, and it has to be realized in conjunction with the devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia, but that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully.
Text 32. यावानहं यथा भावो यद्रूपगुणकर्म कहा तथैव तत्त्वविज्ञानम् अस्तु ते मदनुग्रहात्.
Translation. All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, quantities, and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy.
Text 33. अहमेवास्मेवाग्रे नान्यद्य यत्सदस्परम् पश्चादहं यदेतच्च यो वशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहम्.
Translation. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, where there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, that what is remains would also be I, the personality of Godhead.
Text 34. ऋते अर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यात् आत्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः.
Translation. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of in any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in the darkness.
Text 35. यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनु प्रविष्टान प्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम्.
Translation. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created, and at the same time I am outside of everything.
Text 36. एतावदेव जिज्ञासं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्व्यक्तिरेकाभ्यां यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा.
Translation. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this, in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly.
Text 37. एतन्मतं समातिष्ठ परमेण समाधिना भवान् कल्पविकल्पेषु न विमुह्यति कर्हिचित्.
O Brahma, just follow this conclusion by fixed concentration of mind, and no pride will disturb you, neither in the partial nor in the final devastation.
Text 38. Shri Shukavacha सम्प्रदिश्यैव जनानां परमेष्ठिनं पश्यतस्तस्य तद्रूपम् आत्मनो नैरुणधरी.
Sukadeva Goswami said to the Maharaj Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, after being seen in his transcendental form, instructing Brahmaji, the leader of the living entities, disappeared.
Text 39. अंतर्हितेन्द्रियार्थाया हरये विहिताञ्जलिः सर्वभूतमयो विश्वं ससर्जेदं स पूर्ववत्.
On the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who is the object of transcendental enjoyment for the senses of devotees, Brahma, with folded hands, began to recreate the universe full with living entities as it was previously.
Text 40. प्रजापतिर्धर्मपतिरेकदा नियमान यमान भद्रं प्रजानां विच्छन्त भद्रं प्रजानामविच्छन् अतिष्ठत् स्वार्थकामया.
Thus, once upon a time, the forefather of living entities and the father of religiousness, Lord Brahma, situated himself in acts of regulative principles, desiring self-interest for the welfare of all living entities.
Text 41. तम नारदः प्रियतमो रिक्तादानमनुव्रतः शुश्रूषमाणः शीलेन प्रश्रयेण दमेन च.
Narada, the most dear of the inheritors sons of Brahma, always ready to serve his father, strictly follows the instructions of his father by mannerly behavior, meekness, and self-control.
Text 42. माया विविदिशन् विष्णोर् माया विविदिशन् विष्णोर्मायशस्य महामुनिः महाभागवतो राजन् पितरं पर्यतोष्यत.
Narada very much pleased his father and desired to know all about the energies of Vishnu, the master of all the energies. For Narada was the greatest of all sages and the greatest of all the devotees, O king.
Text 43. तुष्टं निशाम्य पित्रं लोकानां प्रपितामहं देवर्षि परिपप्रच्छ भवान् जन्मानुपृच्छति.
Can you go down a bit? Translation. The great sage Narada also inquired in detail from his father, Brahma, the great-grandfather of all the universe, after seeing him so well satisfied.
Text 44. तस्माइदं भागवतं पुराणं दशलक्षणं प्रोक्तं भगवता प्राह प्रीतः पुत्राय भूतकृत्.
Thereupon, the supplementary Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which was described by the personality of Godhead and which contains 10 characteristics, was told with satisfaction by the father Brahma to his son Narada.
Text 45. नारदः प्राह मुनये सरस्वत्यास्तटे नृप ध्यायते ब्रह्म परमं व्यासाय अमितेजसे.
In succession, O king, the great sage Narada instructed Srimad Bhagavatam unto the ultimately powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, on the bank of the river Saraswati.
Text 46. यदुताहं तव्या पृष्टो वैराजात् पुरुषाधितं यथासीत दुपाख्यास्ते प्रश्नानन्याश्च कृत्स्नशः.
Translation. O king, your questions as to how the universe became manifested from the gigantic form of the personality of Godhead, as well as other questions, I shall answer in detail by explanation of the 4 verses already mentioned.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for coordination, and please forgive me for any mistakes from my side. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Very wonderful recitation by dear Yashwant and Raslekha Mataji. Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was very wonderful. Very nectarian.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll start with our prayers. Please join me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कथां प्रसङ्गान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायना कथाः तज्जोषणादाशपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति। I offer my respectful obeisances to all the devotees and I seek your blessing so we can discuss today the verse 35, chapter 9. So as you know that Brahma has asked questions, 4 questions, and the answer to that he's having a direct conversation with the Lord Vishnu. And as we know, he asked, please tell me about your material and spiritual form. And in response, the Lord speaks verse 33, and that is the Gnana Sambandha, which is the most confidential knowledge about Krishna's form. Then the second question by Brahma is, please tell me about your material and spiritual energies. How do they function? And in that response, verse 34 is the answer, which is Vijnana Sambandha Tattva again, which is a realized knowledge of Krishna. And then the third question is that what are your activities in relation to material and spiritual energies? How do you act through them? And that is the Sarahasyam, which is today's words, Prayojan Tattva. And what is that Prayojan? That is Krishna Bhakti. That is the goal. And the last question is actually Brahma's concern that after doing so much creation activity, which is under the mode of passion, he is worried and concerned that he might become proud or come into bondage. So he's requesting for guidance and mercy. And the answer to that, the Lord says, is that you need to perform sadhana bhakti process. Thus, you won't get proud or you will not get into bondage, and that is called Tad Angam, which is a Abhideya Tattva, the process. So quickly we will just revise and then we will read the purport of verse 35. So 31st verse, all the tattvas are mentioned under one verse. It is like a contents table of this Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And there Bhagwan Uvacha, the verse says Gnana, Vignana, Sarahasyam and Tadangam. This is what you will expect in the next 4 verses, which is knowledge about me. And then what is a realized knowledge? How does the energies of the Lord work? And the goal is devotional service of knowing everything at the end of knowing all the knowledge. And the process to attain that goal is also devotional service, Krishna Prema and Krishna Bhakti. Verse 32, again, Lord says that out of my causeless mercy, you will be able to understand everything nicely here. And verse 33 was again Sambandha Tattva, the realized knowledge about Krishna's Swarupa. Aham eva samevagre nanyad yat sadasat param paschadaham yad etaccha yo vashisheta sosmeham. Sorry, we did this verse, the one before, where Lord says that everything, He is basically beyond creation, maintenance, and destruction. Lord remains. The spiritual world and His associates and everything is there before creation. It's there during maintenance also. And as the world is getting annihilated, it remains. After the annihilation, also it remains. During the maintenance phase, also Lord is there. And thus, the absolute truth is that Lord remains, the spiritual world remains, and He pervades through creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Nothing is possible without the Lord. He is in everything. So we have seen all of this. And the rate artham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyadatmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. It's a very beautiful verse, verse 34, the one done yesterday, where Lord says that, O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if we see it in relation to the Lord, then it is reality. And know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. So just to revise this verse is that in this verse, basically this is a relative truth. It's Lord's energies in response to Brahma's question that how was your various spiritual and material energies work? So here in the verse, we can see the word pratiyeta, pratiyeta and na pratiyeta. So what is the meaning of pratiyeta? Pratiyeta means that which appears to be, that which we can perceive, that which is visible to us through our senses, through our eyes, and we can perceive through our other senses, and we can understand. That is pratiyeta. So whatever appears to be of value and meaning, it's related to Krishna, everything. But if we can't see the objects in this world or anything around us in relation to Krishna, if we can't see it, then we are in Maya, means we are in ignorance. So this verse basically talks about Vidya, Avidya, how there are two energies of the Lord, Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Because Brahma asked, right, how does your energies work? So Lord has Yogamaya and he has Mahamaya, two energies. Now within Mahamaya, that works within the material world, which is Vidya potency and Avidya potency. Vidya potency is the material knowledge. If we see the object in relation or in connection to the Lord, we can see that this is the energy of the Lord, and thus we can see its connection with the Lord. And avidya potency is the material ignorance. That means we are in darkness. This vidya means we are in the light, and here we are in the darkness because we cannot understand that everything around us in the material realm is basically a reflection of the spiritual world and everything is connected to Krishna. If we don't understand this, then we are in ignorance. Right, Mahamaya is we've understood this, right? So the Mahamaya has two aspects, Vidya and Avidya. What it means is that, for example, here the word says, Rate artham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani. Okay, pratiyeta. Mahamaya, the way it works, the Vidya potency, there are two things. When something is there, we see it. When something is not there, we don't see it. That means we are in knowledge. Avidya is we see when there is something is not there. And when something is there, we don't see it. Then that is avidya. I will give an example. Say, for example, the road at night we are walking on the road and the lights are lit, right? The lamp post light is lit. Then if we come across a ditch in the road, then because the light is there, we will see the ditch and we will walk carefully. We will avoid it so we don't fall in it. That means it's a vidya potency. We are in the vidya potency. What is there, we saw it and we are careful. Now, if there is no snake, we will not see the snake because the lights are on and there is no snakes. I have not seen a snake. So that means also we are in vidya potency. What's not there, we are not seeing. What is there, we are seeing. Now, what it means basically is that that we are seeing everything. What this means is that it makes when we see things with vidya, it makes the person to identify with his body, mind, intelligence, and related melodies. Okay, when we see as things are, which means that we are able to understand the soul's real bliss and happiness. We are not this body, right? We are the soul. So then we are in that knowledge. But avidya means that there is no lights, but I am thinking there might be a ditch and I'll fall. But there is no ditch and I'm thinking like that. That means what? Nothing is there, but I perceive it is there. But for example, there is a snake and I can't see it. I think everything's fine, but the snake is there, but I don't see it. That is avidya. That means that we are identifying with our body. So then we are in ignorance, right? And we don't perceive the real knowledge of our soul. That is called avidya potency. Then we are in Mahamaya. So the Bhagavad Gita's first lesson is we are not this body, we are the soul. When we are in that knowledge, we are under the Lord's Mahamaya Vidya potency. But when we are identifying with the body and everything that happens with us, we are thinking that, I am identifying as a designation that I am this person and then I have this roles and I become arrogant or proud, then I am working under false ego. That is avidya potency of Mahamaya, right? Now, the second aspect of Lord's potency is Yogamaya. Now, Yogamaya, we don't have to worry about it much because it only works on the great devotees of the Lord. Yogamaya works mainly in the spiritual world. Like there are many examples of Mother Yashoda, Damodar Leela, when she is trying to bind Krishna or when he ate the mud, right? Krishna eats the mud. So at that time, what happens? That Mother Yashoda, here she can see that Krishna is my son. But when she has seen the universe in his mouth, for a moment, that Aishwarya Yogamaya Shakti works on Mother Yashoda, and for a moment she thinks, oh, what am I seeing this, but Krishna, then all of a sudden her Vatsalya Prema takes over the Aishwarya Shakti and she can understand, no, this is my own child. This is not God. This Krishna is my child. He's not God. So now the Yogamaya is covering the greatness of Krishna on Mother Yashoda. and she's not able to perceive him as God, but she's seeing him as a child. So her Vatsalya always wins over the Aishwarya Shakti because she is a Kevala Bhakta, she is a pure devotee, she is Akinchana Bhakta of the Lord. And here the greatness does not work on them. They only see Krishna as their child, or Gopas and Gopis will see him as their friend or a lover, like that. So sometimes intermittently, Yogmaya might test such pure devotees of the Lord, but at the end, obviously, Mother Yashoda's love wins. And we can see here in this pastime that this pastime was to show that Mother Yashoda's love could not be restricted by of Krishna's powers show here, right? Because when Krishna's Aishwarya Shakti, the greatness, how he's creator, maintainer, of everything, when that is in picture means that is his powers, Aishwarya Shakti. But when it is pure love between mother and son, Yashoda and Krishna, that is their Kevala Prem. And same way, even Yogamaya works on Arjuna. Arjuna's perception and subsequent non-perception of Vishwarupa. So by the power of Yogamaya, Arjuna saw the Vishwarupa, the Paramatma Roop. But by the influence of Yogamaya, he could not perceive that same Krishna is standing next to him in the two-handed Shyam Sundar form, which is so rare, so unavailable to see. He's seeing it in front of him, but he wanted to see the greatness. He wanted to see the Vishwarupa. So, and at other times, he did not experience either universal form or Paramatma when Krishna was just his friend with him, you know. So, like this, Yogamaya covers these Aishwarya potency in front of Arjuna intermittently from time to time. This happens. So at one time, one form of the Lord was revealed, while another was covered, and that is the action of Yogamaya. There are so many pastimes like this. Even Brahma Vimohan Leela. Brahma saw this sweet boy. He is playing with his gopas and friends, and he saw the sweetness of this Lord. Such a sweet boy. How can he be the creator, maintainer, and my master, the original personality of Godhead? So then Krishna showed him his Aishwarya. We know what happened. Brahma tried to steal the Gopas, but he could not. It was just the illusory set. The original set was still there by the Yamuna. And the third set of Gopas is the expansion of Krishna. He becomes each and every Gopa and goes to their respective house at the end of the day. And after 1 year of earth pastime, but just a moment for Brahma, Brahma was so bewildered, and then Krishna shows his four-handed Vishwamurtis and everything. So, this is how Yog Maya works, but always on great devotees. And like this, Brahma or even Ravana, they cannot touch the real energies of the Lord. Ravana never stole the real Sita Devi; he stole the Maya Devi, right? Maya Sita. So the Yog Maya will not allow them to touch these pure devotees of the Lord. Ravana or Brahma Brahma also had taken the illusory set. It was not the real Gopas. So this is just verse 34. It took me a while to understand this when I was studying Chatushloki. So I thought maybe whatever I know, maybe I can share again. I'm sure it was discussed fully, but so Mahamaya is the Vidya and Avidya potency. When we are in Vidya potency, we identify with the soul's bliss and full knowledge. We don't identify with the material body. When we are in Avidya Maya potency, we identify with the body, but not with the soul's bliss. And Yog Maya mainly works only on great devotees of the Lord. So today's verse 35. यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created, and yet at the same time I am outside of everything. So we will read the purports and then try to discuss. Okay. Translation, one moment. Yeah, verse number 35, right? It's a very long purport. I'll read a bit and then if someone wants to read, they can be ready. A very beautiful purport. It is very straightforward, this verse basically. Here, Srila Prabhupada explains that everything that we see within the cosmos and outside the cosmos is Lord's energy. So, for example, our body is made of Panch Mahabhuta, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Earth is inside us also, and we can see it is outside also. In the same way, Lord is inside this material world, cosmos, universe also, and He is outside also. Knowing this, what we should do if we are in this knowledge, a devotee will see the Lord everywhere, and thus his goal of life would be to attain the love of God. That is basically the gist of this verse. We will read the purport. The great elements of material creation, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, all enter into the body of all manifested entities. The seas, mountains, aquatics, plants, reptiles, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and everyone materially manifested. And at the same time, such elements are differently situated. In the developed stage of consciousness, the human being can study both physiological and physical science. But the basic principles of such sciences are nothing but the material elements and nothing more. The body of the human being and the body of the mountain, as also the bodies of the demigods, including Brahma, are all of the same ingredients, earth, water, etc. And at the same time, the elements are beyond the body. The elements were created first and therefore they entered into the bodily construction later. But in both circumstances, they entered the cosmos and also did not enter. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, namely the internal and external, is within everything in the manifested cosmos, and at the same time, he is outside of everything, situated in the Kingdom of God, Vaikuntha Loka, as described before. This is very nicely stated in Brahma Samhita as follows. आनन्द चिन्मय रस प्रतिभाविताभिताभिर्य एव निजरूपतया कलाभि गोलोक एव निवसत्यखिलात्मन् भूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who by expansion of his internal potency of transcendental existence, knowledge and bliss enjoys in his own and expanded forms. Simultaneously, he enters into every atom of the creation. This expansion of his plenary parts is also more definitely explained in the same Brahma Samhita 535 as follows. एकोऽप्यसौ रचयितुं जगदण्डकोटिं यच्चक्तिरस्ति जगदण्डचयायदन्तः अन्दान्तरस्थपरमाणुचयान्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who by one of his plenary portions enters into the existence of every universe and every particle of the atom and thus unlimitedly manifests his infinite energy all over the material creation. The impersonalists can imagine or even perceive that the Supreme Brahman is thus all pervading, and therefore they conclude that there is no possibility of his personal form. Herein lies the mystery of his transcendental knowledge. This mystery is transcendental love of Godhead, and one who is surcharged with such transcendental love of Godhead can without difficulty see the personality of Godhead in every atom and every movable or immovable object. And at the same time, he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode Goloka, enjoying eternal pastimes with his eternal associates who are also expansions of his transcendental existence. This vision is the real mystery of spiritual knowledge as stated by the Lord in the beginning, Sarahasyam Tadangam Cha. This mystery is the most confidential part of the knowledge of the Supreme, and it is impossible for the mental speculators to discover by dint of intellectual gymnastics. The mystery can be revealed through the process recommended by Brahmaji in his Brahma Samhita 538. प्रेमाञ्जनचुरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्त सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Someone wants to read from here to up to personality of Godhead?
Can I read, Mataji?
Yeah, sure, Mitali Mataji, please.
I worship the original personality of Godhead, Govinda, who the pure devotees, their eyes smeared with the ointment of love of God, always observe within their hearts. The Govinda, the original personality of Godhead, is Shamsundara with all transcendental qualities. Therefore, although he is present in every atom, the Supreme Personality of Godhead may not be visible to the dry speculators. Still, the mystery is unfolded before the eyes of the pure devotees, because their eyes are anointed with love of Godhead. And this love of Godhead can be attained only by the practice of transcendental loving service of the Lord, and nothing else. The vision of the devotees is not ordinary. It is purified by the process of devotional service. In other words, as the universal elements are both within and without. Similarly, the Lord's name, form, quality, pastimes, entouch, etc., as they are described in the revealed scripture or as performed in the Vaikuntha Lokas, far, far beyond the material cosmic manifestation, are factually being televised in the heart of the devotee. The man with a poor fund of knowledge cannot understand. Although by material science one can see things far away by means of television. Factually, the spirituality developed person is able to have the television of the kingdom of God always reflected within his heart. This is the mystery of knowledge of the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And someone wants to read this paragraph, the Lord can award.
Mataji, can I?
Yes, please. Yeah, sure.
The Lord can award anyone and everyone liberation, mukti, from the bondage of material existence. Yet he rarely awards the privilege of love of Godhead, as confirmed by Narada. Muktim tadati karhichit sma na bhakti yogam. This transcendental devotional service of the Lord is so wonderful that the occupation keeps the deserving devotees always wrapped in psychological activities, without deviation from the absolute touch. Thus, love of Godhead developed in the heart of the devotee is a great mystery. Brahmaji previously told Narada that the desires of Brahmaji are never unfulfilled because he is always absorbed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, nor has he any desire in his heart save and accept the transcendental service of the Lord. That is the beauty and mystery of the process of Bhakti Yoga. As the Lord's desire is infallible because he is Achyuta, similarly, the desire of the devotees in the transcendental service of the Lord are also Achyuta, infallible. This is very difficult, however, for the layman to understand without knowledge of the mystery of devotional service, as it is very difficult to know the potency of touchstone. Touchstone is rarely found. A pure devotee of the Lord is also rarely to be seen, even amongst millions of liberated souls. Kotisva api mahamune. Out of all kinds of perfections attained by the process of knowledge, yoga perfection in devotional service is the highest of all and the most mysterious also. Even more mysterious than the 8 kinds of mystic perfection attained by the process of yogic performances. In the Bhagavad Gita, 18.64. The Lord therefore advised Arjuna about this Bhakti Yoga. Shall I continue, Mataji?
Thank you, Mataji. That's fine. We'll just try to, how much is, I'm just saying, oh, only little bit left. Okay, I'll just complete it, Mataji. Thank you. Sarvaguhya tamam bhuya shrunu me paramam vacham. Just hear from me again about the most confidential part of the instructions in Bhagavad Gita. The same was confirmed by Brahmaji to Narada in the following words. Idam bhagavatam nama yanme bhagavato ditam sangrahoyam vibhutinam tvam etad vipuli kurum. Brahmaji said to Narada, whatever I have spoken to you about the Bhagavatam was explained to me by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I am advising you to expand these topics nicely so that people may easily understand the mysterious Bhakti Yoga by transcendental loving service to the Lord. It is to be noted here that the mystery of Bhakti Yoga was disclosed to Brahmaji by the Lord himself. Brahmaji explained the same mystery to Narada. Narada explained it to Vyasa. Vyasa explained it to Shukdev Goswami. And that same knowledge is coming down in the unalloyed chain of disciplic succession if one is fortunate enough to have received the knowledge in the transcendental disciplic succession. Surely he will have the chance to understand the mystery of the Lord and that of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of the Lord. So thus this purport ends, and we will just read the translation once more. Here, O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything. So now how to understand this? Here the great elements of material creation, namely earth, water, fire, air and ether all enter into the bodies of all manifested entities, right? In every atom, the Lord exists. Srila Prabhupada says the seas, mountains, aquatics, plants, reptiles, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and everyone materially manifested. At the same time, such elements are differently situated. Okay, let's try to. Okay, so here Lord is saying that how, say for example, the earth is within us, right? When the body is burnt, it will go back into earth again. So the earth is within the body, it is outside of us also visible. In the same way, Lord enters the cosmos and he is outside also. What it means is that we can see that how we all know about this, right? The chart of the on top is always the original fountainhead god is Krishna, right? And then from Krishna, the first expansion is Balramji. And from him, the first quadruple, Aniruddha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, and Pradyumna incarnations incarnate. And then from them, Narayana form comes. From Narayana, second quadruple, Aniruddha, Vasudev, Mahasankarshan, and Pradyumna. And from that, Purusha Avtara, first Purusha Avtara comes, which is Mahavishnu, Karna Dakshai Vishnu, who we can see here. So at this point, obviously, everyone, all these, at this point of Mahavishnu, everyone is outside the cosmos. They are all outside of the material world. And then from Mahavishnu, all the universes, as he breathes out from the pores of his body, millions and millions of universes come out. We are in one such universe here. And then in that universe, Garbhodakshai Vishnu comes again. And that Garbhodakshai Vishnu is here, the form of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So still he is incarnation of Lord Krishna. So Lord is now outside the cosmos. He is inside the cosmos. That's what the verse is saying. I am outside also, I am inside also, right? And now he is here. Then from his navel, the lotus sprouts. On top, Brahmaji sits, and all the 14 planetary systems are resting on the stem of the lotus. And every living entity, every atom, again the Lord enters. Every living being has a super soul, and there he enters as Shirodakshai Vishnu. So basically, Lord is everywhere, and even we learned in the second canto. Yet chapter 10 is to come, next chapter. But till now, so many times we have seen in second canto, we have learnt about the Virat Rupa, right? We learnt about the Virat Rupa of the Lord. That is nothing but Garbhodakshai Vishnu's imaginary material form. And this Virat Rupa, in the first chapter of second canto, we learnt that he is, if we were to imagine from the head of the Lord to the soles of his feet, that is compared to Satyaloka to Pataloka here. Pataloka, Satyalok to Pataloka. Then again, he is compared to various demigods and their acts. It comes in second canto, first chapter, 29 to 32 verses. Then 33 verse onwards, like the Lord's veins are rivers, his hairs are the trees, his breath is the wind. All this comparison we have seen. The hair on his head are like clouds, right? And then we have also seen in the first chapter again, 37 verse onwards, the four varnas. A Lord is compared to his face is Brahmanas, arms are Kshatriyas, thighs are Vaishyas, feet are Shudras. So we can see that all over everywhere in the Virat Rupa also, that is nothing but the Lord. All the elements emanate from the Lord. And again, in the sixth chapter of second canto, Garbhodakshai's limbs, they provide the ingredients for the universe. And our eyes, ears, skin, nose, everything. So living entity receives the material body that is sanctioned by the Lord, and it is based on Jiva's desire. And there again, in the next chapter, we will see that how our desire to see is compared to Lord's desire to see, Garbhodakshai Vishnu's desire to see, then the gross sense organ takes birth, like the eye. We want to see, then the gross sense organ is eye. Behind the eye, the mechanism is chakshu, which is the subtle sense organ, because of which we can see, and its devta is sun god. So sun is watching over, regulating everything, so we can see. And the object we are seeing, all the objects are also made from the elements of the of earth, of the all the elements, earth, water, fire, or ether, some of it, right? Or all of it. For example, my eyes are seeing a earthen pot, then that pot is made up of clay, that also comes from Lord. So basically, that's what this verse says, that he's inside as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he's within us as Shirodakshai Vishnu, he's outside of us, the entire universe as Mahavishnu, and he's in the spiritual world here as Lord Shri Krishna. All these expansions, the Vaikuntha Loka, we learnt about we saw that Lord explains and describes Vaikuntha Loko to Brahma, right? That how it is, Brahma has actually seen it. Lord gave darshan of Vaikuntha Loka. And about this Vaikuntha Loka is also there are lots of Goloka Vrindavan, so many multiple, because this universe, material universe is only 1/4, spiritual world is 3/4. So, and here we can imagine we are just in one of these. Like this, there are so many, and it is not that simple how this looks, because when we will come to fifth canto, we will see that how everything is so complicated, and Lord is so great how he has created everything. This Burloka is actually Bhumandala, and then in Bhumandala there are seven islands and seven oceans, and within that there is something called Jambu Dvipa. In middle there is Ilavrata Varsha, there is a Meru mountain, and on top all these demigods are living, Brahma, and there are elephants that they are balancing the Loka mountain. There is so much there to look forward to, and the fifth canto comes, which I don't understand much, but there is, we can understand how complicated all of this is, and Lord has created this. So what this verse is saying, that after knowing all of this, what we would do? What we would do after knowing this is that we will understand that we will see Krishna everywhere. That's what the devotee would do. Thus, we see the elements enter cosmos, our body, and don't enter also. Pravishtani and apravishtani. Similarly, Krishna exists within every single living being's heart, in every atom. And he maintains all of us also. He is inside and he is outside. He is inside as Garbhodakshay Vishnu and he is outside as Mahavishnu in multiple forms. He exists everywhere. He is inside the atom. He is all pervading. So having got this gnana, as we said, the Chatushloki is gnana, vignana, and then this, the Prayojana Tattva is what? Knowing this knowledge, we will, a devotee or a sadhaka bhakta will see Krishna everywhere. But a conditioned soul cannot see this because for that, this gnana and vignana, the guhyatam knowledge, most confidential knowledge is required, which is in Chatushloki, and there is so much information packed up that the entire Bhagavatam has unpacked every single word of this shloka. If we try to see, like for example, 11th canto, I was hearing something today that there are Navyogendras who come they are the descendants of Priyavrat Maharaj, who is one of the sons of Swayambhu Manu, and they are having a conversation with Nimi Maharaj where same thing comes, the Prayojana Tattva comes there. And I thought Krishna is making me hear this because I wanted to know how Chatushloki is spread over the entire Bhagavatam. And there it is this verse, they are talking about the Prayojana Tattva. They are saying our goal of life is Bhagavad Dharma. And what is Bhagavad Dharma? That is what the great souls are following. We need to follow the same, which is attain the love of God. Having all this information, the goal of life is to attain Krishna Prema. And how to attain, this is the sadhya, this is the goal. How we will attain that prema, that is the next verse, by sadhana bhakti, tadangam. So basically, this is what is here, that this verse is saying sa rahasyam, which refers to Krishna prema bhakti. Result of knowledge or most confidential outcome of that knowledge is what exactly you will attain through this. That is attaining Krishna prema. So Gnana is Bhakti and Vignana is Bhakti's realization. We saw how the Mahamaya and Yoga Maya works, right? On devotees and non-devotees and great devotees. How the Gnana, how the Vidya, Avidya potency and at the same time the Yoga Maya potency works. We saw all of that. So that is the realization. And again, seeing the devotional connection with Krishna, with everything, when we see that connection, we would want to attain Krishna Prema. That is the goal of life. And a devotee sees Lord everywhere. We saw this verse, right? I think even in the purport, was it mentioned or not? I'm not sure. Yes, this was mentioned in the purport. But there is also this verse whereby, yes, it is here. Let me just find it. I have put it here. Sthavara Jangama Dekhe Na Dekhe Tara Murti. If I can find it, I did put it somewhere. So, Stavara Jangama Dekhe Na Dekhe Tara Murti, Sarvatra Haya Nija Ishta Deva Spurti. So, here Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having a conversation with Ramananda Rai. And Ramananda Rai sometimes finds Lord, he sees Krishna in him. And then again he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, he says, you are Lord Krishna, right? And then just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to hide his identity. He says, no, because you are a Mahabhagavata, you are a real devotee. That's why you are seeing Krishna everywhere. Later on, he reveals his identity by showing his Krishna and Radharani's roop combined in him. But that is what this verse is saying. A devotee will see Krishna everywhere. We saw in second canto Vishwarupa, Krishna is everywhere. When we see the trees, we can see these are the veins of the Lord, right? In that, if we see mountains, if we see rivers, everything is emanated from the Lord. And even Kunti Maharani says, Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrute Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahir Avasthitam. Same thing is here. Antar Bahir Avasthitam. He is everywhere. He is existing both within and without everything, yet he is invisible to us. it is like nato natya dharo yatha. Kunti Maharani says that when someone is performing on the stage, for example, they are performing Bharatnatyam or classical dance, the person sitting in the audience, if he has the knowledge of certain mudras the performer is doing, then they will understand what that mudra means. So if somebody is in knowledge, they will be able to relish the dance and understand the classical movements. In the same way, if we have the knowledge of who Krishna is, what are his forms, what are his energies, how they work, how creation takes place, then we will be able to appreciate, relish, and understand Krishna's greatness and sweetness. And after understanding that, the goal is to attain Krishna Prema, because Mamaivam so Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are supposed to love Krishna. And in third canto, we will see when a person, when he's coming out of a mother's womb, how much he prays that Jiva, that this time I will really come back to you. I have left you, my Lord, but I will really come back to you this time. So, like that, also the Jiva will pray if he is, like a devotee Jiva or someone who is aware of his identity, he will pray like that. All of us prayed, most Jivas prayed like that. But the minute we enter this world, the Maya catches us, the three modes of material nature, but we are given a chance, thanks to Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas, and Bhagavatam is available to us, and holy name, that we are trying to understand and go back to Godhead. And again, this popular words, Matta Parataram Nanyat, Kinchidasti Dhananjaya, Mai Sarvamidam Purotam Sutre Mani Ganaiva. We know everything is resting on the Lord. And again, in the sixth chapter of this canto, this purport part, I had read that the one is Lord Vasudev, and only by his different energies and expansions are different manifestations, both in the material and spiritual worlds, maintained. In the material world also, Lord Vasudeva is everything. So everything is resting upon him. Everything. So there was also one more verse in that chapter. Vikramo bhur bhuvasvascha shemasya charanasya cha sarva kama varasyapi haresh charana aspadam. Thus, the forward steps of the Lord are the shelter for the upper, lower, and heavenly planets, as well as for all that we need. His lotus feet serve as protection from all kinds of fear. So, yes, this was also comes in the 11th canto, second chapter, where the Nava Yogendra speak to Nimi Maharaj, that out of the four things whereby we eat, we mate, we are afraid of everything, and four things we do, out of which fear is very prominent in everyone. And this fearlessness comes from performing the bhakti yoga. Because if we are in the knowledge, this fear will not bother us. We will know we belong to Krishna and we are in the safe place if we perform bhakti. So, for absolute protection from all sorts of fear, as well as for all our needs of life, we must take shelter of the Lord. So that is the Prayojan Tattva. And also, we will just conclude with this beautiful words from Chaitanya Marta Manjusha commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam by Srinath Chakravarti. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Achitupasana Vrajavatu Vargena Va Kalpita श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेम पुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्यमहाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्रादराना परा. So there are five things Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has emphasized. Aradhya. So what is the object of worship? Shri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, the Krishna in Vrindavan. He is our object of worship. And which is the transcendental abode? Then that is Vrindavan. And that which is performed, what is the worship? Which is the best worship? Which is performed by Vraja Gopis, because that is the pure love they have. And Pramanam, spotless authority, is Srimad Bhagavatam. And the goal of life is Prema, or pure love of God. And that what is today's verse. Pure love of God is the goal, and that is today's Prayojana Tattva, Chatushloki, verse number 35. So I'm sorry I've taken 5 minutes more. Please forgive me, but with this I'll conclude. If you want to add anything or correct me, please excuse my mistakes, because I'm also, it is a great opportunity actually to learn and revise everything. Because I get this opportunity to discuss, I also get to revise and learn and try and make effort to understand the verses. But there is so much to learn, as Bhagavatam only reveals to the degree we are surrendered. So there is a lot to learn. Please forgive my mistake. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone wants to add any comments, anything, or from you? We can also learn from anything that you want to add.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna Prabhu,
Mataji.
Dhanavad Pranam. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautiful class, Mataji. Just one point, just to add, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was speaking to Sanatana Goswami, at that time he mentions that Virata Rupa and the Super Soul and Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu are the same personality. So that is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya chapter 20, verse number 294 and 295. So there he explained the same personality. And Virat Rupa is the Maya Gunirvirichidam. This is the imaginary form.
Yes.
So just wanted to bring that Virat Rupa, Super Soul, Kshirodak Sai Vishnu. And Kshirodak Sai Vishnu is one of the Gunavataras as well. So
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yes,
Hare
that's
Krishna.
wonderful. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Virat Rupa is the imaginary yet bona fide form of the Lord, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And Super Soul is the one within our heart, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. And you are saying, Prabhuji, my understanding is, you said that Virat Rupa is same as the Super Soul, same as the Shirodakshaya Vishnu, right, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for your input and your encouragement. Seek everyone's blessings. Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to add anything else? Okay. If not, then we will conclude, or already we are late. Thank you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for lovely class.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.